Really, it's one of the most beautiful movies I've seen in years, and the performances given by these two incredible actresses, Lea Seydoux and Adele, whom we're fortunate to have with us here, um, are just, I mean, they're really unlike anything I've ever seen on film, just in terms of how um, intimate and personal and naturalistic um, they are. So I'm going to get the big question out of the way because all of you um, have read about the some of the more controversial issues in making the film, and of course the sex scenes are very explicit, so that's caused some problems. So Adele, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your experience working with the director, Abdelatif Kashish. And the one thing that I always like to be mindful of is that the press really likes a good story. So even as I was reading these things, I was kind of like, well, some of this being exaggerated, so.
Yeah, yeah, we shouldn't always trust the press, even us, because sometimes you just feel confident and you speak, but after you read it and you're like, oh, I never said it. But no, it was really intense to work with Abdel because he's a tough guy, he knows what he wants, and he really wants you to be involved. That's like your body, your soul, your time, your energy, and to be focused on the story. Even if he let you a lot of freedom, you can say whatever you like, you can try, you can speak like you want, but it starts from you for for making the character. I mean, you feed from yourself sometimes because you really know people fast. It's weird, but when you're with Abdel, he's a kind of yeah spiritual. I don't know, it's weird, but he's also tough in work because he make many takes. He wants you to abandon yourself, so he just like to he love to work when you're a kind of exhausted. He want to put you in a kind of second state when you doesn't really know why you make it so many times and what he expect from you, but in fact he wants you to offer yourself, abandon yourself, never thinks about hair and makeup because they doesn't exist, but the technical effects too. It's the the technique team have to adapt themselves to you. So it's like choreography. You doesn't even see them, even if there are like two cameras and really close to your face. It's weird. And it was a team movie. Leah and I have really to find the connection. And at the beginning I was scared because I was like, I heard so many stories like people who hate each other but they have to faking a sex scene or just love scene and so I doesn't want to force things, to be over friendly, and it comes really naturally. It helps because the first scene we made together was a sex scene, the dream scene where I'm touching myself and she come into my dreams, and to be naked on the first meetings was really it breaks the ice. It's not the same, just like yourself in all your vulnerability. So I think it creates something. And after we have to find this seduction, manipulation between these two girls, and it really helps me because we shoot chronologically.
And can you tell me how the film has been received in France? Because I know, now that people are starting to see it in the United States, people are kind of talking about the controversy less, because when you actually see the film, it's just, it's like Steven Spielberg said at Cannes. He said it's just this incredible love story, and almost all the other things, just the other things that we've heard about, sort of melt away. So in France, how have audiences responded?
It's different country by country, and that's the magic things about promotion. It's how different cultures react differently. And in fact, here you're more focused on the sex scene than in France. No, that's true. You have this contradiction that we doesn't always understand. That you have a lot of violence, blood, but sex is like, and and you can. I mean, I have 20, and here when I want to celebrate the fact that I go see people make Q&A and and I feel so good, but I can't drink a beer, but I can buy a gun. So, but and it was the same for Spielberg. I mean, we were wrong. We were like, we will never have a prize because Spielberg, it's the guy from E.T. He will never tolerate for 7 sex scene. It's gonna be so chopped. And in fact, he's really cool. And he was like, I want my child to watch the movie, and we're like, whoa. And and it was, yeah, it's one of the most beautiful love story I've seen on screen. So, but in France, it's not the same. Sometimes they're more in the psychology or things, but we have a good receive from people. Yeah, yeah, they like the movie. It works well.
And even though this is the first time that many of us have seen Adèle in film, you've actually been acting for a while. In fact, you did a movie, I think your first movie was in 2007 with Jane Birkin.
It was my first movie and her first movie.
It was her first too. And so you've been doing this for a while. What's next for you?
It's a movie it's the same family than Adèle because it's one of his first actress, Sarah Forestier. She played on his first, on his second movie called L'Esquive. I don't know what is the title here. And she make her first movie. I can say really a lot of things because I haven't got the right to read the script. She wanted to surprise me.
Okay.
But it's exciting. I just know that it's about a girl who is a stutterer.
Oh, okay.
Since the day she lose her mom dies, so she start to have trouble of communication and everything. And it's a love story, I think, but with a guy this time.
I guess we could open up to questions from others.
The first time it was a kind of shock because we make so many scenes who are not in the movie. I mean, we make really more difficult scene, like the breakup with my family when my mother discovering that I'm sleeping with a girl, but she's not just helping me for my classes. And it was really hard. It was the same scene than in the comics when Leah was supposed to go naked in my house drink some milk. Not really realist. I mean, when I am in friends' house, I never go naked like something else in the fridge, like. But
Not
she
even in
did.
France?
No, not even here. And so she come into my room, see that I'm naked, so she understands. So she slapped me, she yelling, she become hysteric, and I can't calm down. I can't calm down her. And my father come, and so it was really hard because we both naked on all this scene, and to have a conflict like this naked, it never happens to me. So it was you really vulnerable. Yeah, it was a lot of emotion to see this movie. I first seen it in Cannes Festival, but yeah, I was proud, and I think he made the right choice. But the huge screening in Cannes with all the people, was more harder because my family was here, and so yeah, of course I was like kind of embarrassed, like how people going to react, and how my family going to react, what they will understand, how they going to interpret that. So I called my father just because to say like this is cinema, like it's not true.
How did they respond to it?
They were like, of course I know, and I was like, oh, it's so cool. And no, really, because even me, I was trying to make the contrary in my head to like see my father, and I was like, oh, maybe I will like be embarrassed, but after, it's not that you have in mind after go out of the screening. You know, there is some more things in this movie more important than just 7 minutes of sex scene, but it's all for a father, I think. So I was really stressed, and in fact, he is the only person who never had speak to me about this scene because there is nothing to say. Like sex scene, we make it, the sex scene, and yeah, I was surprised how much he could be respectful, and I was lucky because I know that a lot of different family wouldn't have the brave to be so so cool.
Cool, yeah. That's great.
At the beginning, we had a script. Adele told me to read it once and after forget it. He loved the fact that things come also unconsciously, and he doesn't want us to learn the text one by one. And yeah, there is a lot of improvisation, almost all the same, but we start from a small text, and after we try to escape, and that's what it's love, the moment, the energy, like the trance between all the actor and trying to make it right and to live the moment. So there was a lot of improvisation. He was always here to control, but we have the freedom to like, yeah, on a sex scene, he could tell me like, if she doesn't want to, you can just leave her. And I was like, yeah, but it's not on the story. And he was like, yeah, but if you're feeling this, leave her. And we were like, okay. And we have the freedom of space. You will never, the cinema of Adele is that he will never stuck you into a mark to like come and fit. And you know, on the floor and technical things, and it's just about your feelings and what you can give. So yeah, a lot of improvisation. The food scene was really hard because he make many takes. Like he can spend 100 takes on one scene. And the kebab scene with my boyfriend at the beginning was at 8 in the morning on a small market, and we have to eat this kebab, and I had to throw up to do it again because he filmed all the scene, like since the people come and get you sandwich, and since the moment where you just finish every piece of your sandwich. So this scene was hard, really. I mean, it's the trauma. I can't even eat a kebab anymore. Really, even when everything is closed in Paris, and my boyfriend told me there is only a kebab 2 blocks. I'm like, I don't care. I will wait tomorrow. But the breakup scene was hard because we were waiting this scene, so we shoot chronologically, and we were like, this scene is so important. The fact that all her interior world just go down. Everything she built, everything she hoped, everything she wants, just go down. And this scene was hard because, yeah, for an actress to just come into the place and you already know that you're gonna go out in like 5 minutes and crying, and to be so hurt and lost was hard because at the beginning of the scene I'm supposed to make the innocent girl like, no, I'm not crying, I'm tired, no. And that was hard because I already know what's gonna happen after. But Leah really helped me in this scene. She was so obsessed. She doesn't breathe normally like she used to. She doesn't have the same skin. She's red, and so I was really like impressed. And Adele slapped her, and she was slapping me. But I can see in his eye like, I'm sorry. But yeah, this scene was hard too, and the scene with the child, they were like the most funny sometimes, but hard because it was hard for me. I was 18, and to find my place between like 20 child who never act and who are just instinctive. You know, sometimes they make things and they are so cute that you want to be close naturally from them, but you can't. You have to be like the strict. And it was really hard to find this ambiguity. But it was funny. You know, making a scene you're supposed to be like hurt inside, but make your job. And one of them just like up the finger, say, I poop, and you're like, okay, what am I supposed to do? But it was funny. Personally, okay, so the first one, okay. Oh, people I want to work with, there is a lot. I love Almodovar, I love Abel Ferrara, Yeah. I love Tarantino, Scorsese.
Hey, make a few
Um,
phone calls.
yeah. um, Judah Pato for the comedy. I think really it's not just because I'm here, but you're so much better than us in comedy. You're taking risk. No, really, like Jim Carrey, all these guys, this crew make you like dream. James Franco and all his team, Seth Rogen, they're good. You know, in France, it's always in the head, and you can't just make an awkward situation during 7 minutes. But yeah, so many directors I want to work with. The guy who adapted Romeo and Juliet, Bassman.
Oh, that's London.
Yeah, I love this adaptation. Then Fincher, yeah, a lot. Danny Boyle. And so the second one was New York, Towels. I think it was, I don't really know, it was because it will always stay a kind of symbol of New York, even if there is so many other things. And he really wants to put some New York things in the movie because it's really one of her dreams to travel and see other people. And Leah Ima doesn't want to. And the Child. Yeah, personally, yeah, I love Child. I mean, I was lonely until my 7 years old. And when my 2 little brother come back, I realized how much it changed your life. I love big families with many different people, you know, big table when you doesn't have to gift. I mean, in Christmas, it's just eat good things and be with your family and nothing. So yeah, but before I want to make things and feel independent, but I'm sure I hope I will have a child.
We have time for one more. Way in the back.
Thank you. So many things, and it's hard because when people ask me this question, I realize how much there's so many things and things so not personal that I don't want to say, but things I don't even can say words. Yeah, I grew up so much on this movie, 5 months with Adèle, with really complex people. He can be so tough, but he can be so nice and really to the best. And he's the only one who work like this. And all the experience she's been through and she been through, I realize how much, I realize so many things in fact, but I just get mature and understand how much it's important to learn, to feel free, to have feelings, and I'm quite like her because when I have something in my head or hurt, I can't go somewhere else, I just have to follow this, so a lot of things.
I'm afraid that's all we have time for, but thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for coming.